Hi guys, welcome to video 7b. This is another video. It's just the previous one was the Allen key. This is obviously the mug example, and it's just kind of another continuation that uses or utilizes the sweep feature. But we'll also be bringing a couple of new things in there as well, like we'll be revisiting the fully round fillet, sorry. We'll be bringing in converting sketch entities, which is really important, and inserting new planes. Okay, and a new condition. Up to now we've been doing our extrude boss bases with a distance in mind. I think we've done it up to a surface before, but we're going to do it up to a body this time, and we'll have sweep in it again, and also shell, which we've done already. Okay, so step one, SolidWorks, create a cylinder on the top plane to the given dimension, diameter 82, height 95. So it's top plane, normal 2, sketch, circle, center point is the origin, and diameter 82, and the height is 95. Done. Okay, so we'll just call that body EXT. Next thing then is to hollow it out or shell it out to a thickness of 4mm. Now we used this before for the memo block, the very first item. Okay, so I'm going to go shell. I think it's 4mm it said there. Yeah, 4mm thickness. So type in 4 in here, and we have to select the surface that we want to shell down from. So we'll select the top one and basically hollow it down. It's like drilling down, but it'll leave a wall thickness of 4mm all the way around. Next thing then is to step 3, cut out a smaller circle on the underside of the mug to a depth of 3mm, but its diameter 66. So on the underneath side of the mug, select it, look normal to it, sketch a circle from there, and smart dimension that to be diameter 66. And what we'll do is we'll cut that out a depth of 3mm. Now, if you think about the glass that we done, the glass activity, it's just very similar. We had a kind of a profile like that, obviously with a tapered angled side on it, but we created it all with a revolved boss base. Here's just another way we can do it. I could have easily for the glass created a cylinder, and what I could have done to get the angle on it, so obviously a cylinder is not angled, we can add in what's called a draft angle up about 5 degrees. If you have a look at it here now, will it give me the full, I can give me the full actual, there we go. It's after doing it the wrong way around, so I'll go back in. I think I can flip draft outwards 5 degrees. So that's essentially the glass there. I could have done the whole thing with the with a boss extrude instead of a revolved boss base, but however, we'll just go back to normal there. So now I am on step 4. On the underneath side of the mug, create a sketch of a semicircular arc, diameter 35. That should be radius 35, I think. We'll see what happens. And add the text saying made in Ireland, extrude to a depth of 1mm. Okay, so underneath side, select it, look normal to it, sketch. Now I'm going to do the whole, I'm going to do this here, I'm going to show you a new one. This is handy because we have to do a semicircle, so I'm going to use a midpoint line from the origin, keep it horizontal, and I'm going to turn it into a construction line, like so, and then I will go with the semicircular arc, so it's a center point arc. Try that again, and I turned it off, and I'm after stopping that by accident, so I'll just drag it round, and it said diameter 35. Does that look right? Sorry, I done 25. Let me just go back to the drawing there. Yeah, I think that's about it. That's meant to say radius 35. Okay, semicircular arc, radius 35. And made in Ireland has to be written on it. Now this has to also be turned to a center line, so click on it for construction. Select A. The arc is already selected as the path. Made in Ireland, like so. And we need to flip it around a couple of times so that it reads correctly. Did I get that right? Made in Ireland. Oh, it's too big, sorry. So use document font. Let's just go with these settings here. It's not in my handout. We make it small enough so it's legible. I'm not going to bother with the I'll go with that. I'm not going to mess around with any kind of fonts and stuff like that. Maybe I'll just make it bold so that's nice and thick, like so. That's that, and I will extrude that to a depth of 1 millimeter. Geez, 1 meter will be a bit much, so 1 meter millimeter. Grand, that's that done. Now we're going to add a fully round fillet to the top of the mug, a 2.5 radius fillet to this part here, and a 2 millimeter radius normal fillet to the bottom inside circle. Okay, so we'll start at the top like we did with the glass, a fully round fillet. Right click, second one right click, and then the third surface right click, and then the fillet, it was 2.5 here. We need to get the edge, not the curved surface. That's hard to get for me for some reason. I'll try it like this. No, it keeps, oh sorry, fully round fillet still selected, of course. There we are, and that's to be 2.5. And then the inside of the other one, just go back here, I think it's this one here, has to be 2. So is that, I presume that's it there, yeah. Okay, so that's step 5 done. Now, here's where it gets important. Step 6, we're going to create a brand new plane that we can draw on. So what we're going to do is, what we're aiming towards is basically these two elliptical shapes here, which will essentially be the start and end of my sweep for the handle. Okay, but you'll see that the handle is not actually, this part is actually not on the body of the cylinder, and in fact the it's a curved surface on the cylinder, so I can't just select it like a normal flat surface. It's not flat, it's circular. So I have to create a new surface to draw on away from it. So let me see, where are we now? So we're going to go using the right plane as a reference, set up a new plane 51 millimeters away from it. Okay, so using the right plane as a reference, so we have to use a plane to base the new plane off. So we're basically going to do a parallel plane to that. We go to reference geometry, plane, and you'll see what it does here in a second. Come on, and it's creating a new plane there, and we want to type 51. 51 might be a bit much, so I'm going to cut it back to, let's have a look here, I'm going to cut it back to 45. Okay, so just go with that for now, 45, and green tick. Now if I need to flip it the other way, I can go to flip offset, and it does it the far side, but that one there is fine. Okay, so we're going to call this, we're going to rename our things here for a second. So we'll call this handle plane. So the handle is going to be creating that. So bottom fillet 2, bottom fillet 1, rim fillet, text fillet, bottom cutout, bottom, just call it cut, and body shell. Okay, always trying to keep the kind of description of the feature, but also the 3D, the feature, the name of the feature that you've used as well. So naming it as in, you know, the rim, the handle, the body, whatever, and then obviously the feature that you've used to create it. Okay, we're going to select that new plane and we're going to look normal to it. And what we're going to do is set up this sketch here. So this has 2 ellipses along a center line down the middle of the mug with the dimensions given. So the width, and we have to ensure that one of the ellipses is a construction ellipse. We'll see why in a minute. Okay, so this is the sketch we're going for. So what I'll do first and foremost is I'll get a center line going. Center lines are very important. We're going to be using them a lot, particularly for like higher level stuff that we move on to. And we're going to go for an ellipse, and I'm going to just land one there, and you can see we can change the major and the minor axis of it there. And I'm going to set another one up like that. I'm going to try to keep it in line with that one. And now what I'll do here is I'm going to smart dimension. One of them is going to be a construction line. Okay, 25 from the bottom, 50 and another 54. Okay, smart dimension to the origin, that's 25. And from the center of this ellipse to the center of this one, it's going to be 54. And we're going 18 wide. Sorry, 18 wide and 9. Now, what we could try do here, I'm going to turn this into a construction one. Okay, remember one of them had to be construction. What I'm going to try do here is keep that point there and that point there to make sure that the two ellipses are identical. I'm going to make these 2 points vertically aligned, okay, like so. And I'm going to add in a center line here. I'm going to see if this works, and a center line here. Okay, I could just go and do the bottom one 18 wide and 9 high. That's fine. But what I want to do is try add in some efficiency here, that if one of these changes, the other one will change with it. So if I add in these two center lines here, right, and I go to, hopefully I can select that one there and that one there. Okay, in fact it's not even letting me. So what I'll do there is I'm just going to hit back for a second, and instead of center lines I'm going to try do two solid lines. This might make things a bit easier. Select that line, hold control, select that line. I'm going to make them equal. You see that's gone black. Now I'm going to turn that to for construction and that for construction. So what should happen now is if I take that and make it, we'll say exaggerate it for 30, see the way the other one goes with it, that's the efficiency that we're looking for with our SolidWorks models. Okay, everything's black, everything's fully defined, brilliant. Okay, so I'm going to end that sketch. I think that's all I need to do there. Yeah, that's grand. And now what I'm going to do on the front plane, I'm going to draw another ellipse that has the end of its major axis going through the center of that ellipse and the other one going through that ellipse, and I'm going to chop the back off it, and we're going to make it 16 deep. Okay, so let's try this. So let's see. So I'm going to hide this plane, or will I keep it open? No, I'll leave it open for a minute. So I'm going to the front plane, look normal to it. Okay, and what did I want to do again? Oh yeah, I wanted to draw an ellipse. Okay, so another ellipse, and now it's picking up a center line there, which is great. That's what I want, and I think I want that point there. You might have to turn your sorry, hold on, you might have to turn your view. I'm going to try that again. Center of the ellipse. Okay, once again I'm going to draw in a heavy line there, ellipse, and I want to land in that center, and it's locked into that center there. That's grand. And I want to drag it out a little bit, and I'm going to just turn that to for construction, and I'm going to go back to my front view for a second, and what I want to do is trim off that bit here. So trim to closest, click that. Now it's not fully black, so I need to kind of, oh yeah, sure, I did say that I want to I need to lock it in here into that position there. See if we can do that. There we are. That shouldn't move now. Yeah, it's locked because I just moved it and put it back to the center of the ellipse. And if I go back to my front view, I need to make sure that distance there to that distance, oh, sugar, I'm after going out of my sketch. I'll just go back into it. Smart dimension from here to here should be 16. Yeah, it's after going black. Brilliant. That's what we want. And that's green tick. Okay, so we'll call this handle profile, and I'll call this one here handle path. And of course what I'm going to do now is, hopefully this works without a flaw. Let me just make sure I've everything done. We're going to do swept boss base features revolve, sorry, for revolve, swept boss base, select the heavy ellipse, not the construction one, and that's the pathway there. That's brilliant there now, and we will just go with that. I think that should be sufficient, like so. Now that's grand. Now what I want to do is I'm going to hide this body just for a second so I can look in at the end view kind of there of the ellipse. Now what we want to do is we want to take these ellipses here, we want to continue the ellipses straight in to meet the cup. I'm going to bring the body back in actually, okay? So let me bring it back in there. So I want a new kind of elliptical shape just to come straight in horizontally to meet the cup. So we're going to do a couple of things there. We're going to use convert entities to kind of recapture. In fact, I don't even need to do that, I don't think. So we'll go sketch, look normal to it. Now if I hit normal again, it's going to flip it around the other way. Sketch, we're going to draw a line, but we're not going to actually draw a line, but you have to hit that. I'm going to go to, sorry, not sketch picture, convert entities. Okay, entities to convert, click the outline of that one there. Will it let me do the second one in the one? Yes it will. Green tick. Now we've just turned the edges of those ellipses into actual sketches, so now I have something that I can boss extrude. I'm going to bring that body back in and what I want to do is select the sketch, features, extrude boss base. Now what we want here to happen is we want it to go up to body. So what's going to happen is it's going to extrude all the way up until it meets this curved surface, and what it'll ensure is that if I go to a plan view there, what it will ensure is that as the ellipse comes up, it'll meet and merge with the curved surface there, so it'll kind of give it a wraparound effect. It'll merge with it seamlessly. If I just went with blind there, okay, see the way it's blind, 11 millimeters got into the cup, it would leave a flat end on it no matter what distance I choose there. But what I want is up to body. Now what we have to do is obviously select the body we want it to go up to. There's the preview, you can see it's doing the whole wraparound extrude thing. And we want to make sure that merge result is ticked because we want the handle to be welded to the cup, be part of it. Okay, that's the hard stuff done. I'm going to get rid of that. I'm going to call this handle sweep. I'm going to call this handle extrude. And we're nearly there. I don't think there's much to do now after this. In fact, there's not. Extruding up the body, that's pretty much it, and we're just going to apply solid white to the whole mug. Okay, so we have to just put a simple color on it. How do we do that again? Jeez, I can't remember. Solid, there we are. Actually, we might find some ceramics in here. Let's see if we can find any. Fabric, stone. Stone is not great. Organic, let's have a look in organic for a second. Wood gemstones, miscellaneous, leather, sponge, sand. No, we won't go with that. We go with solid. We just go with the solid for the moment. White, drop it on to the whole body. That's it. So we file, save as, and we just call it mug. Save it on my desktop. Grand. Now I'm going to try something here. I'm going to change the design a little bit. We're going to put, this might sound a bit mad, we're going to put some orange juice in the glass. Okay, sounds a bit crazy, but there's actually, in liquids you have all these things here, so beer, whiskey, orange juice, we're going to go with that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the material of this now. I'm going to save this as mug, and the next time I'm going to save it as mug with orange juice. So I'm going to change, going to do some changes here. I think I might have a folder, orange juice mug render. If we just have a look at this file here, just taking a second to load. So we're going to put a bit of color on the handle. We're going to have a kind of a glass body, and we're going to put orange juice in the glass. This image is taking a while to load. There we are, something like this here. Okay, blue handle, glass body. We'll mess around with it a bit. Okay, it's kind of fun to do. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll go for a glass. So we're going to come up here to glass. We've done this obviously for the drinking glass, and I'm going to go with a frosted glass. It gives a better effect. and I'll put it on the whole body. Now what I'll do here actually is we're going to put plastic, high gloss plastic, blue, onto just the handle. So here now what we do, we don't want it to go to the whole body, we just want it to go onto the sweep. And what I'll do here is I'll copy, so right click, copy appearance, and we're going to put it onto this here. So paste appearance, we want it to go onto the handle extrude, and it's after doing it down there. Now what we might do as well, I'm going to copy the same one onto the fillet down here, so paste appearance, and I'm just going to put it on bottom fillet 1, like so. I'm going to put it on the other fillet as well, which would be, where is that other fillet? It's kind of hard to see there. I'm going to put it here as well, paste appearance on just onto that face, and I'm going to do it to the inside one there. So hold on a second. Does this work? Bottom fillet 2, and there's still, looks a bit glitchy there, but we'll go with that, okay? Now, the question you might ask is, how do we get orange juice into that cup? Right, we're going to use the convert entities thing like we did here for the ellipses when we were drawing that. We're going to do it on the front plane, look normal too, and rather than using that view there, we're going to use the hidden detail view here. Otherwise this might not work. So sketch, line, and now we're not going to draw anything, but we're going to convert entities. And what I want to do is take that, we can only do this if we got the hidden detail visible. Click that line, that line, that line there. Okay, now just noticing something I should have done earlier. I should have put a fillet on the inside of the glass at the bottom there, so that one there. So I'm going to put a little fillet on that, because the bottom of every glass is going to have a fillet on it. So we'll just go with 2. Maybe that was the one that I should have done earlier. If I just go back to this one here. Inside circle of the mug. Okay, so listen, I'll just put a fillet, 2mm fillet here somewhere, if I can find the edge, which it's not letting me do for some reason. That's weird. I'll try that again. So fillet, entities to fillet. I don't know why it's not letting me do this. It's absolutely not letting me select anything. I'm just going to leave that for now, because we know how to do a fillet at this stage. Right, okay, so, oh sure, I'm in the middle of a sketch here, I can't obviously do that. So I'm just going to come out of the sketch, okay, and I'm going to put that fillet, so features, fillet, that edge there, that'll do. Okay, that's what I wanted. And let me just paste it here as well. There we are, that's what I wanted. Now back to the orange juice. So front plane, look normal to it, go to the hidden detail visible, and we're going to go to sketch, convert entities, but we're going to try and draw the line first. Then we're going to go and select that line there, the fillet there, the bottom line here, hopefully that one there. Will it let me pick up the bottom one? No, I don't think so. So I have to green tick, and what I'll do is I'll just draw a line in here instead. Now the orange juice is not going to come to the top of the glass, so we'll just cut it off halfway, so maybe here to here, and I'm going to trim off the bits I don't need, that one there and that one there. Just click yes, and I'm going to get a horizontal vertical line down the middle, because we're going to do a revolve boss base on this, so I'm going to trim off the other bits that I don't need here. Vertical line, the fillet, and that there. Okay, so we're going to use that there. If you want to fully define it, we can try lock it into the halfway point there, which I thought it did already. And that one there, I want to make sure that it's vertically in line with the origin, so that should make it, oh, we got a problem here, so I'm going to delete that. Interesting. So why won't that? I want to keep that in the center, so maybe what I'll do is I'll just add in a center line up the middle, like so, and just drag this point over onto it, and that's it. Okay, end the sketch, and I'm going to bring back this solid line hidden. So now that sketch there, I'm going to go features, revolve boss base. It's after picking up that line automatically as the axis, 360 degrees. I'm not going to merge the result because I want it to be a separate entity, a different part if you like. There it is there, and I'm going to drag the orange juice onto it, so it was in organic orange juice. There it is there. Now what I need to do, sugar, hold on. What I need to do is look into the glass so I can drop it straight onto the orange juice and onto the revolve one, and there we go. So what I'll do now is reset that there. We'll have a look at it in SolidWorks add-ins, PhotoView 360, and then render tools. Options, I'll just keep it basic. I'll just go for good and preview window. Get rid of that there. It could take a second. I might put an environment in the background of it actually when this opens up to kind of give it a kind of a better presentation. How many minutes are we? 26 minutes with this. We're nearly finished. As I said, this is just extra stuff that's not on this diagram here. At this stage we've done the hard work. Let's see, make sure it looks okay. Okay, not bad, but you'll see we have these kind of weird lines here that aren't meant to be there. Now the reason they're there is because what we've done is we have created a solid that's the exact same diameter as the inside of the glass, so there'll be a bit of clashing there. We basically have solid material on top of solid material, so it's causing a problem. So what we'll do is we're going to scale that down. Now I can't remember where to find the scale tool, but I'm going to go to commands. We can search for commands in here. I'm going to type in scale. What we're going to do is we're going to scale down that orange juice block there by instead of 1, we'll just leave it as it is, but I'm going to go with 0.999, and it'll just take it down a fraction, so it just moves it away from the surface of the glass. And the body I want to select is obviously the orange juice. You won't even notice the difference there, but back in the preview window you'll notice that them weird lines are probably gone. I hope so. If not, we could go slightly smaller with it with the scaling, like maybe just 0.9. Now the reason that's taken a while to do is because we have glass there, and the glass is kind of so there is kind of some lines there still. So what I might do is go back in, right click on my scale, edit feature, I just go with 0.9. And we'll see what it looks like. Maybe 0.99 would have been better than 0.999. You might think that makes very little difference, but it would make a little bit of a difference. So this one here, you should definitely not see any of the lines. Yeah, that's pretty much it there. Okay, once again, I want to see the shadows on the bottom. So if I go into appearances here, go to the last one. I'm going to add a scene here actually. Scenes, basic scenes. Let's go with this kind of black one here. And I'm going to go in and make sure, edit the scene. I'm going to turn on the floor reflection and shadows and turn them back on, turn off and on. Back in here, it'll start to regen. You can see the background being put in there. And that's pretty much it there. So yeah, with a decent graphics card, it might look pretty well. I'm going to go back in. One last thing before I let you go. If you want to end the video now, you can, whatever. I'm going to change the scale just to 0.99, because 0.9 is 90% of it, which means 10% of it is gone. So I'm going to slightly change the angle of this now, and remember, if it doesn't ask you, you should have perspective turned on. I just have to slow down for a second there. So I want to go in here, turn on perspective. Now we'll have a look at it. Okay, so I see them lines are gone, them weird lines. So we can see that 0.999 was too close for comfort with the scaling. 0.9 was just too much, and 0.99 is probably just right. So once again, let it get to 100, save image, there's your render. Okay, so that's that, lads. I'm going to leave it at that, and see you in the next video, which will be number 8. I can't remember what it is, but it's going to be the 8th video, or the 8th activity.